Hi guys, for our science lesson today, we are going to be talking about the different parts of a plant. So we'll identify those, and we'll also start talking about photosynthesis, which is a really big word that just means how plants eat and how they grow. Because just like you and me, we have to feed our bodies so that our bodies can stay healthy and grow. And while plants don't have bodies, they have different parts that we'll talk about, but they have to be able to support themselves and to grow. So, and they don't have teeth that allow them to eat up food, but they do have molecules inside of them that allow them to take water and minerals and turn it into food so that they can stay healthy and they can continue to grow. So I know that was really fast that I just went through, but we're going to go into depth in it in today's science lesson, so keep watching.
Here we have a plant, and this plant has a flower, but it's important to know that not all plants have flowers. Some plants just have leaves, others grow to be trees, and some plants can grow to be herbs like the ones that we planted earlier this week. The first thing that we'll do today is identify the different parts of a plant. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. The first part of the plant is the roots. The roots are the part of the plant that are in the ground, so we typically cannot see them unless we pull them up. The next part of the plant is the leaves. The leaves attach to the center part of the plant, which we'll name in just a few seconds, and they are usually green. But in the fall, sometimes leaves turn yellow or brown, and that's when they might fall off of a plant. The next part of a plant is the seed. Each plant that grows also grows another seed so that it can form a new plant. The next part of a plant is the stalk, or the stem. The stem is the center part of the plant, and it gives structure to the plant. So whether you have a flower on top, a vegetable growing from it, or some stems are really big and they're called trunks for a tree, this is the part of the plant that supports the rest of the plant. The last part of the plant is the flower. The flower is what blossoms from a plant. Not all plants have flowers, but flowers are usually seasonal, which means that they don't stick around all the time, but they come out for a season and then they fall off and then they die. But then new flowers usually always grow. So there's usually a cycle that happens, and you'll see flowers throughout that cycle, that seasonal cycle. Now that we've identified all parts of a plant, we are going to take a look at the process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process that when a plant takes water, minerals, and carbon dioxide from its environment and turns it into food so that the plant can grow. I'm going to demonstrate that process right now. What it's important to know in understanding this is that we have down by the roots, we have little blue water molecules. So when the plant needs it, or when it rains outside, water goes into the soil and sits there. There are also minerals and vitamins a part of the soil. This is the dark gray part. These are the minerals and vitamins that are near the roots. When the plant needs energy or fuel, it absorbs water and minerals through the roots. So you can see water going from the soil into the roots towards the plant. And the same thing happens with the minerals. Goes from the soil through the roots to the plant. And all of that water and minerals travels from the roots through the stem to the leaves of the plant. This is why it's important to know the different parts of a plant, so you can understand how a plant eats and grows. Then the plant takes carbon dioxide from its environment, which is the air, and just like we need oxygen to breathe, the plant needs carbon dioxide to turn minerals, water, and carbon dioxide into food. So it absorbs carbon dioxide from the environment into the leaves of the plant. Here you have carbon dioxide in the leaves, water in the leaves, and we have minerals in the leaves that came from our soil. And when those three components work together, along with the cells that are in the plant, it turns into food. So then that food can be taken from the leaves back to the rest of the plant. So a plant doesn't go to the grocery store and buy food to fuel itself to grow. A plant makes its own food by taking carbon dioxide, minerals, and water from its environment and turning it into food. Then that food travels all throughout the plant, and the plant is able to grow to make a beautiful flower or vegetable or herbs with the plants that we created the other day. That is how photosynthesis works.
I hope you guys had fun with today's science lesson in identifying the different parts of a plant and starting to talk about photosynthesis. I encourage you guys to try to use that word. I know that it's really specific and that it might not come up in conversation, but if you have plants around your house, like Miss Martinez, then you can talk about, oh, I wonder if that plant is using photosynthesis to feed itself right now. I wonder if that plant is using sun to work in photosynthesis. Try to use it around the house because it's a big word, and the more that we use it, the more we'll become comfortable with it. So I hope you guys had fun, and I miss you so much, and I'll see you next week with more science lessons.